Have you ever been told that the love you give your children is the same thing stealing love from your marriage? The day my husband said I stopped loving him, I didn't know a sentence could hurt so quietly until my husband said it. We were standing in the kitchen that evening. The kids were finally asleep. The house was quiet in that rare way that only parents understand. The kind of quiet that comes after chaos, exhaustion, and spilled juice on the floor. He leaned against the counter, arms crossed, not angry, just tired. "You don't love me the way you used to," he said. I laughed at first, not because it was funny, but because it sounded unreal, like he couldn't possibly mean that. "What do you mean?" I asked, still wiping the counter. He sighed. "Ever since the kids came, everything is about them. Your attention, your energy, your affection. I feel like I'm just here." I stopped moving. I didn't know how to explain what I felt in that moment. Shock, guilt, confusion, and a sharp ache in my chest I wasn't prepared for, because from where I stood, I was giving everything I had. I wanted to tell him about the nights I stayed awake long after everyone slept, worrying about school fees, fevers, and whether I was doing this motherhood thing right. I wanted to remind him how my body still felt unfamiliar after childbirth, how exhaustion lived in my bones now, but instead I just stood there, listening. "I miss you," he continued. "I miss the woman who used to touch me just because, who laughed with me, who looked at me like I mattered." That's when it hit me. He wasn't accusing me. He was lonely. I sat down slowly, my heart racing. "I didn't stop loving you," I said softly. "I just started loving more people who depend on me to survive." Tears burned my eyes, but I refused to let them fall yet. "Do you know how many times I've fallen asleep holding a baby while thinking about you?" I asked. "How many times I wanted closeness, but my body had nothing left to give?" He didn't answer immediately, so I kept going. "I didn't choose to love you less," I said. "I chose to keep everyone alive." That's when his face changed. Not defensive, not angry, just understanding. He came and sat beside me, quiet. And for the first time since that conversation started, neither of us was trying to win. "I didn't know you felt that way," he said. "And I didn't know you felt invisible," I replied. We sat there, the space between us filled with things we never said out loud because life got too busy. Motherhood had changed me. That was true. But it hadn't erased the woman who fell in love with him. She was just buried under diapers, schedules, and endless responsibility. That night, I realized something important. Love doesn't disappear after kids. It stretches. And sometimes, it stretches so thin that both people feel alone on opposite sides of the same marriage. We didn't fix everything that night, but we started something. He began helping more, not just with tasks, but with presence. And I began remembering that I was still a wife, not just a mother. Sometimes love doesn't die. Sometimes it just needs to be seen again. And that night, for the first time in a long time, we saw each other,